There is a fifth dimension.
About the unknown.
Beyond that which is known to man.
The Garden of Thought.
The Babylon Project was our last best hope for peace.
Unexplained.
Mythologies.
This is the dimension of imagination. It is an area which we call
The Garden of Thought with Jeff Lippman.
Eventually, our sun will grow cold and go out.
You're listening to something much bigger, something hidden in plain sight.
It won't just take us. It'll take Marilyn Monroe and Lao Tzu and Einstein. All of us was for nothing unless we go to the stars.
What you're about to learn will completely change the way you experience your mind, your thoughts, and yourself.
Let's make sure that history never forgets the name.
The Garden of Thought.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of GOT Presents The Gospel of Thomas. And we are here, we are on, but we're also off because our guest is Steve Off. How are you, Steve? What's going on?
Hey, man, I'm great. Thank you for having me. How you guys doing?
We're doing good. And the good. Is Mr. Thomas, who somehow isn't the MLW World Heavyweight Champion right now. I personally feel aggrieved.
In what world would that have been booked for me to win, brother?
What do you mean booked?
Hey, in my defense, I was eliminated over the top rope by the current and defending MLW World Champion, Matt Riddle, which technically makes me like the number 7 contender.
Okay. All right.
If you're going to lose to the champ, right? I lost to the guy who won.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you also were being hit with a crowbar by that no good CJ Anderson.
I will be pressing charges.
You should. Indeed, you should. They robbed you of a unique opportunity, though. Austin Aries was there saying, finally, somebody brought a weapon, and I'm sort of thinking, like, shouldn't you have brought a weapon, Thomas?
Me? No, I pack the guns all the time. It's always a gun show, brother. But no, I just use whatever is allotted to me. I got a kendo stick shot or two in there that was just, on the fly, not really my thing. But next month, I'm not going to spoil it for you, but you might see me inside of a possible steel cage. Maybe, I don't know if it's a war games or maybe a war chamber or maybe something with a roof on it. I don't know. We'll see. There might be weapons involved. Maybe being caged. You never know. Big blow off, brother.
Wow. Very exciting. All right.
Dropping hints on the pod.
That's right. And you'll be with another TV star, I imagine, at that time, a Golden Globe and Emmy Award winner, possibly.
Paul Walter Hauser? Mm-hmm. Am I saying it right? We love him. I like this guy. He's easy to deal with. Not going to name drop, but I am. But since we're talking about Hollywood, and I'd spent the weekend in LA, Ice Cube's son was at our show on Sunday. O'Shea Jackson.
O'Shea Edward Jackson. Yeah, no, he's O'Shea Jackson Jr. He's an actual fan. And there was like a brief period of time where he followed me. But then I guess he realized that wasn't important and unfollowed me, which is fine.
Well, Jeff, I'll give you a scoop right now on the pod. These guys, they're just, they're fed WWE guys just to not book anybody else's guys. That was exactly what I was told by someone within the biz.
That's okay. I just thought it was cool that like Ice Cube's son was following me. I mean,
listen, man, the first time I heard about it, I was like, can someone get me on the pod? And they were like, oh, they get like Seth Rollins and people that matter. So they don't have to talk to people like you. Yeah, and I said, okay. And I accepted my fate. But we're here to talk about Steve Off.
We are. So Steve, tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I started wrestling in 2003. I started very young. I'm not as old as that makes me seem. Going to be doing some movie work with, this documentary I'm going to be involved in, Heavy Healing. It's about basically people who, suffer either from physical, mental, or both issues, and they use heavy music as a means to cope with that. So it's a very cool documentary. The guy, the singer from Killswitch Engage, whose name escapes me, is also going to be in it. So hopefully it'll be kind of a big deal. I've been wrestling, like I said, since 2003. My primary thing is Pro Wrestling Magic. I wrestle and promote. I also do indie work. And I love Star Wars and Disney. So, the parks, not the movies. So I'm kind of all over the place, but it's fun.
Yeah. So you were a Vinny Pacifico reference. So obviously you're in the Vinnyverse. So that's good. And he likes the theme parks and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Now, you met your child the way most of us do in the birthing room, but
Yeah.
unlike most of us, you didn't have any advance notice of this. So
No.
how does that happen? I mean, I assume that you weren't married and you just, or you're just not that inattentive to a woman, going from regular size to pregnant.
No, we were engaged.
Okay.
Yeah. Saw her every day. Had no idea. Didn't show at all.
Oh my goodness.
How that works, brother, I don't know.
Okay.
We saved a bunch of money by skipping all the bad stuff, though.
Yeah, I know Lamaze.
Doctor visits and stress, and
no. Well,
that
child,
day was pretty wild and stressful. But
the child. Okay, you said he's 8
Yeah.
years old, so
yeah, he's been going for 8.5 years now, strong. So
didn't need those prenatal vitamins after all, huh?
Nah. Went on every ride at both Disney parks, the one in Florida, the one in California, both Universal parks, and Six Flags. Every single ride, and he came out fine.
Now, does he look
That's
like
pretty
you?
wild.
Does he look like you?
Poor kid, yeah.
Because I'm thinking, like, if she didn't show it all, I'm thinking this might be one of those like Zeus, God things. It might be an immaculate conception, kind of thing.
It was a thought for a minute, but then when he started getting older and looking exactly like me, I'm like, no, that's definitely not that.
Well, I mean, alternate theory. Maybe you are the guy, the man that God made in his image. Maybe that's
shit, bro. I guess it could be it.
Maybe you are the face of God. I mean, who
that's
knows?
a terrifying face and terrifying thought, but you could be right.
No one ever said God was handsome. I mean, did you ever hear the descriptions of it? You can't look upon the face, you'll burn in ashes. It's too glorious. It's too light. It's terrifying for man to behold. I mean, I'm thinking God doesn't necessarily look like Brad Pitt. I mean,
it's really making sense now. It's
he might
starting
be
to add
like
up.
Ron Perlman. Who knows? All right. So this movie, this sounds like it's sort of a big deal. And I have to be honest, when I think of heavy metal and that kind of stuff, I don't really think of relaxation. But then I remember I was young once. And, for the 2 years or so that I was young, I liked heavy metal and it relaxed me as much as anything else. I prefer the chill out to heavy metal than I would to, like, say, Bach or Mozart. And
right.
So while it might be counterintuitive, it really isn't if you think about it. So how do you get involved with this project?
So a friend of mine, Seth Goon Abrams, was once very heavily involved in the music business. And this is a project he wanted to do originally, I think, as a book, and it wound up becoming a movie instead. So this man has survived like strokes and countless other things that most of us would not still be here. And the man still goes to the gym. I still see him at the gym at least 2-3 times a week. So, God bless and good on him. But yeah, he is a friend of mine. And he knew I was struggling with anxiety for quite a while. It's pretty much under control now for the most part. But I was struggling with that for a long time. So he was like, hey, man, I'm doing this project. How'd you like to be involved? I said, yeah, sure. And when are we filming? He's like, oh, are you free in I think it was like a week or two? I was like, oh, yeah, sure. Can we put the ring up? Yeah, sure. Why not? So my segment is filmed in the wrestling ring in what we call the Mecca, the main building that my company runs out of. So it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool shot.
We're going to come back.
And for the record, what's the name of that company and where can you find you? Plugs along the way, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, brother. Pro Wrestling Magic. It's at Pro Wrestling Magic on the Insta, Pro Wrestling Magic on Facebook, and at Wrestling Magic on Twitter. Or X.
Love that.
What is your genre of wrestling of specialty in your promotion, if any?
We kind of blend it up, mix it up. We have big guys. We have a solid women's division. We got good tag teams. We got high flyers. We got technical wrestlers. A little bit of everything.
Okay. Who's like sort of like your champion? Who's your featured act that like has some regional or national presence that you market around?
So we're mostly going with a lot of the guys and girls that I feel should be on TV and haven't been noticed yet. Our former champion, Alex Ryman, my former tag partner, he was just on AEW as an extra, and he was the champ for 15 months. And now we got Bruno El Oso Blanco is our 7-footer, and he's currently the world champion and has been on AEW, I think once or twice. He was in a squash match or two. So we don't really have a whole lot of people.
7-footer in a squash match. What is going on?
He got squashed by Lance Archer. So yeah, I know.
The one win a year Lance Archer is allowed to have.
Yep. I love his work too. I don't get it.
Cheeseburger is always up at Pro Wrestling Magic.
Yes, I'm going to see him Saturday.
That is our connection because you and I cross paths at the dojo, the ROH dojo, once upon a time. I still can't believe we go back that far. That is insane to me. You're in a very interesting part of New Jersey, which leads to my first but not last food question. Do you consider it to be pork roll or is it Taylor ham? Now, from the suburbs of Philadelphia, it's just always pork roll. There's no wrong way to skin a cat, I guess, if that's the phrase that pays. The taste is irrelevant either way, but what do you classify it as?
It depends. If I'm in North Jersey, I say Taylor ham, and if I'm in South Jersey, I say pork roll because I don't want to get looks and like what do you mean? What is that, bro? Like, come on. Technically, I think both are true. I think one is the brand and one is the cut of meat. So technically, they are both accurate and they are both true. But I've always been a Taylor ham guy. Try to judge. I'm sorry.
That, people take it too serious, much like the pineapple pizza conversation. Like this. Well, just the naming of something is there a second word for scrapple? I'm not sure if there is. Some people don't even know exactly what scrapple is, and I don't even know exactly how to describe it. But if there's a second name for scrapple, or would we really be like wanting a fist fight over it? It's just not that.
It's a little extreme.
But the one thing about New Jersey is the amount of cream cheese you get on your bagels, the most amount of cream cheese you've ever gotten on a bagel.
And we do have the best pizza.
No matter which north or south, east, west part of Jersey. That's exactly how it goes. Jeff, I'm sorry. What was your question there along the way?
Oh, I don't know. I'm back on I'm hearing about lots of cream cheese on a bagel and I'm transfixed. It's like, I do actually have a question because Steve told me that he likes hard rock, metal, and new metal. So even as a youth, I never quite understood where hard rock ended and metal began. And now I don't know what new metal is. I don't know what liquid metal is. I don't know what thrash metal is. Like, what is the distinction between these types of music?
So a lot of it kind of blends together. Hard rock is more like less screaming and more mainstream, like Nickelback and like Creed and like, bands like that. There's some better examples. Those are the more mainstream ones I think of that people would hear and be like, oh, I know that band. Metal, that's like kind of the Kill Switch Engage bands that like scream with the Slipknot. But it's kind of a fine line too with some bands. I don't know.
Is liquid like there's more electronic like emo music in it?
I got no idea what the hell liquid metal is. This is the first time I'm hearing that term. I don't know.
It is indeed a station on XM.
Oh yeah, they're check it out. There's a station for everything.
I don't know what it classifies under either. It scares me by the sound of it.
Like people used to call Led Zeppelin heavy metal, and I don't really think Led Zeppelin was heavy metal. To me, Led Zeppelin is hard rock.
Yeah.
AC/DC sort of rides the border, and then like Iron Maiden, you were in heavy metal at Iron Maiden. Like it was clearer in the 70s, and then things got all messed up and shuffled around and interchangeable and all that. I don't know. It's probably MTV's fault.
I blame MTV for literally everything. So,
Good. I blame Batman for everything, which is the same thing. Thomas, you look confused.
I don't know. I was researching heavy metal and Google couldn't tell me much either. So
yeah,
a loud aggressive sound was the first 4 words I read and I clicked off.
Accurate.
There was a time where like I looked into something and like it very clearly defined what is disco, what is country versus Western. It's like the number of chords used and the range they use, and there actually are definitions of these things. I forgot them all, but I thought maybe there'd be with that. So
it's just this is the biggest problem with not having genre specific radio stations. Like, something came on 93.3 MMR, it was at least considered rock. Which genre of rock? Don't ask me. But if that same song came on, the rap station Power 99 or Hot 97, depending on where you live, then you would know the difference between hip hop and rock. And sometimes there was a little of that like Linkin Park, Jay-Z shit where you could get a white guy and a black guy in the same song on 2 stations, but very, very once in a generation will you get that type of jam. So,
oh, you mean like Phil Collins and Philip Bailey?
This is the downfall of streaming. You hear me? I'm signing right here. So there's just no categories. Everything's just lumped together on your own bullshit playlist.
See, but that was a pretty good pull. I mean, Phil Collins, Philip Bailey, Easy Lover. I mean, the light one is Michael Jackson and Paul McCartney. Doing whatever the Ebony and Ivory. That's the light work. But the Philip Bailey that's a little bit of a pull. All right, I'm going to stop patting myself on the back for that. Steve, I have read in the news about you, and it said 4 days ago that you are now calling yourself Star Killer. And like, is Star Killer like a combination of Star-Lord from Guardians of the Galaxy and Randy Orton Legend Killer? Or are you introducing yourself into the Peacemaker universe? I mean, what is the Star Killer?
It is actually a Star Wars reference. The Star Destroyer, I think, is the new gimmick in the newer movies. I try not to pay attention. They were not very good. But Star Killer was originally, I believe, Darth Vader's apprentice in one of the I forget the name of the game, but it was one of the Star Wars video games. So that's where I kind of stole it from.
Okay. And
the gimmick is kind of like, I'm usually the heel with this gimmick, and I go after whoever's the guy on the rise. Like, that should have been me. And I'm still young enough that it could be me. So I'm going to take your spot that should have been mine. That's my whole thing with Vinny.
You going like red and black face paint and putting spikes on your head and stuff?
I always got spikes on my head. Now I got a mohawk because I'm lazy today. But red and black paint, maybe. Shit, it could be fun.
That could be fun.
I didn't think of that actually till right now, and you just mentioned it. So hey, I think eventually it's going to have to happen.
I don't come up with many ideas on my own. I really don't. If someone says come up with an idea, it's you're either going to get nothing or something shitty. But if there's an existing idea out there, an existing joke out there, I can build upon that pretty well. I'm a good collaborator, but I'm not the, like, in the writing room, I'm not the writer that's going to come up with the plot. But I will find ways to make the scenes and funnier and things connect. So you got to know your place, and that's my place. So
I'm the opposite. When I'm booking a show, I'll have the big ideas, and then I'll go talent to talent and collaborate for the details or the funny stuff or the big moments.
Do you work with CZW? They're sort of New Jersey-ish.
I mean, I would, but I haven't.
Do you know Katrina Storm? Katrina Blake? She does this sort of like ring announcing, interviewing. She does shows.
Yes. Yeah, actually, I've known her for quite some time. I don't know her that well, but like, she's always been cool.
Yeah, she's cool. I used to, in air quotes, work with her on the Unpopular Review Network. We're both members of the cast, and
cool.
I mean, I'm not shitting on them because they're good, but they had like 20 members of a cast, trying to get 1,000 YouTube subscribers to monetize it. So even if you did monetize it, there's no way anyone can ever make a cent because there's too many people to divide it.
Right.
So I'm not. So it was always the eternal frustration of like, why do you care about getting this number of subscribers? I mean, first you got to lay off 16 people, and by the way, start with me. It's like
start with me. I went out.
Start with me. I don't need to take this seriously. All right. So, Game of Thrones, Cobra Kai, American Horror Story are things you list because I asked you for some things.
Yep.
Now, Cobra Kai, that one of Thomas's coworkers and colleagues is Paul Walter Hauser, right? Who, despite me having trouble remembering his name, and despite the fact that he blocked me on X for no good reason, or maybe it was good reason, who knows, he is actually taking this seriously and trying and seems to be a legitimate wrestler. But he's also from Cobra Kai, which is a show I've never seen that people love. So,
man, really good show. Even if you never watched Karate Kid, because I only saw it when I was a kid, I don't even remember half of it. I still love the show.
Yeah,
great time.
I saw Karate Kid. I didn't see the one with the Smiths kid. I didn't see the remake.
Nope. I don't do remakes. I'm sure the kid was great in other roles, but I'm not going to see that one. I'm not a big remake guy.
That is the most old man thing about you.
It was what, sir?
That's the most old man thing about you. It's just
There's so many old man things about you.
I get it because I also share this. I don't like remakes. But no, that is the oldest thing you've said so far in this pod, and I'm happy we got it out of you.
That's the breaking news. He doesn't like remake. But nobody likes the remakes. They're all getting panned. I mean, I know it's not just the fact that it's a remake. It's what they're doing with the remakes as well, and sort of trying to force like 17 agendas instead of just one, or just remaking the darn thing. Um, but yeah, remakes tend to be pretty shitty, especially when they're not supposed to be remakes. They're supposed to be sequels and prequels, and they just redo the old movie and call it new, which is what they've done with Star Wars. That
I was about to
was
say that's a
The
Star
Force
Wars
Awakens,
game, isn't it?
yeah, that was a Star Wars hit. It's like it's the same movie, just change some of the characters and make them all utterly unlikable.
It sucks because I was into that movie until I realized, oh, that's what they're doing. Goddamn.
It really sucks when you're 13 and you waited for Return of the Jedi to finally come out. I mean, you realized at some point that the Ewoks were stupid, but there was sort of a Spielberg, George Lucas, arms race going on and making cute aliens at the time. So you could sort of butt it, even though even then I knew that they were making a mistake with the whole Ewok thing. But none of the movies some had some moments. You had some good video games as a result, but they were all shitty after that. But when they did like Rogue One and Andor and some of the Mandalorian, like when they treat Star Wars seriously, it's good. It's when they don't treat it seriously, it's bad. And I don't know why that's such a hard lesson to learn. You have such a rich universe, and you already have an audience built in that accepts that like things like gravity and radiation and speed of light are not issues. We don't need to worry about that. And like they see what goes well and they see what goes wrong, and they keep doubling down on the what goes wrong instead of trying to do the what goes right. I mean, Andor is, by the time this show drops, the season 2 of Andor will probably be a week away from coming. And this is sort of like my last hope, in shows are good, because Andor was really good. Then at the end, it sort of led me to believe this could go either way. But like Rogue One was a solid movie. Rogue One was.
I loved Obi-Wan. I loved the Obi-Wan show.
Okay, I hated Obi-Wan.
Really?
And I will tell you why.
Okay.
All right. First of all, Princess Leia never met Obi-Wan Kenobi in the movies, so she forgot that whole thing. That like the greatest adventure of her 8-year-old life. Going through.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
And then the other thing is Obi-Wan Kenobi and her. They're traveling like through this mining town or whatever, pretending that they're miners. So his entire disguise is putting a hood over his head, basically, and he's still talking like this patrician. He's like, "Hey, good day, sir. We shall give you a good day's work. Hello, my colleagues. We should talk like a miner." He's like talking like he's like frickin' Caesar or something. It's like, I mean, at least try to fit in. I hated that.
Good point.
And how many times did Vader just let them get away? I mean,
every time.
Exactly. I mean, who's he, Gargamel, or is he Darth Vader? I have so many rants. So,
not to make this all about me, but I always worry when things switch ownership, how it's going to end up. My biggest fear right now is that Amazon just took over James Bond, which is, I think, I'm okay with it, but don't prove me wrong. I don't want to see the same shit over and over again. And now we got a budget. There's a space to be innovative. And I hear so many bad things when it comes to like the Star Wars franchise that I feel like 007 is going to get bunched up in that same mold. It's just a remake of the first 5.
It definitely
could be.
Hope not. I got faith.
You also wrote horror franchises. So which horror franchises are the ones that you like? The ones you swear by?
So I like Scream. I know the new ones are not as good, but the original and the second one were just amazing. Some of the best shit I've seen, pardon my French. The third one I think was pretty good. I know that's a controversial statement because a lot of people didn't like it, but I did. I thought after that they were just kind of okay.
No, yeah, they are kind of okay. I like the first couple. I think the first 2, and I'm not a horror movie person. I just, as a movie, the first one is amazing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to have Drew Barrymore on the cover of the whole poster and like kind of the main focal point of the commercial. And oh, by the way, she dies immediately.
Right, every 90 seconds.
No one sees that coming. It's like, oh, famous hot white girl dead right out the gate. But I think those first 2 are excellent movies, and I I've seen somewhere, I'm not sure, Jeff, maybe you can speak more to this, but like, I don't know what the horror movie culture was around that time, but there had not been, not necessarily a franchise, but there hadn't been a decent scary movie. There just seemed to be like a big gap in that, like,
Right.
what I call the WrestleMania 9 era, and 92 to 94. Like, nothing was going on in any aspect of the world. Nobody had new ideas. Wrestling sucked. There was no horror movies, and then finally it stuck. And it just was it us being the right place, right time because we're all just so desperate for content and had DVD players, or
No, I think it was just really good content. I don't know if the bar was just set so low that we thought it was great
it's
when it was
still
just
good.
kind of good. I don't know.
Holds up.
I think it still holds up.
Now that Scream was interesting. I mean, and of course it gave a scary movie where you have Carmen Electra running in slow motion through the sprinklers.
I was just getting ready to say, so Scream gave us that big titty fucking red hair girl stuck in the garage door. It's the best scene ever. I just wish she was. I wish she would have been naked, but that's all. Great movie, super swerve. Never saw it coming.
The 90s was all about like, Elmore Leonard and Quentin Tarantino movies and like, cool crime things like where characters intersected. It's like the 80s were all the big budget things. So you got some sequels to those action movies, and like horror, it was just like, just like sequels of like Jason and Freddy and whatever. Right. There was no thought put into them at all. But horror seems to have had a pretty cool resurgence the last 20 years or so, where there's some more original. I mean, most of it's still crap, but most of everything is crap.
Yeah,
of course. But some of the good stuff is really good. I mean, I recently saw. I don't even, sort of like where does heavy metal and hard rock end and start? Like where did like psychological thrillers and horror, sort of stuff like.
I kind of love when they blend those two.
Oh yeah. Like
it's good shit.
Immaculate, Heretic, Strange Darlings. These are all Hereditary. These are all like really interesting movies. The Witch, The Menu, Last Night in Soho, anything with Anya Joy-Taylor, by the way. I mean,
yeah, I'd agree.
Except for that,
I would agree on that.
Except for the Mad Max movie she did. That thing stunk.
Yeah, I never got into them. I haven't checked them out.
Furiosa's okay, or Mad Max Fury Road is good. Furiosa is not good. Do not see Furiosa. It's really bad and it's really derivative. It's got the guy who plays Thor, and they try to make him ugly, which is why do you hire him to try and make him ugly?
Pick someone else. I'm right here. Right?
You take Anya Joy-Taylor and you basically make her skinny as a waif and hide her face. I mean, that like it's like they hired this great cast and put them all like where they shouldn't have been.
It's like they took a pile of money and just lit it on fire. They're like, "Oh, this is cool."
That would have been more fun. Like literally would have been more fun to like see like the most obnoxious rap group go into a strip club, make it rain with money and then light it on fire. That would have been much more fun. Or like who's the football player who used to do that? Was it Pac-Man Jones that he used to sort of be known for doing that?
Yeah, he burned a lot of money, literally.
Yeah.
And Joker in The Dark Knight burnt like half a pile of it.
Well, he's a good old anarchist, that Joker.
Yeah.
So I do want to hear a little bit more about the movie though, because it sounds like it's like, is it a for-profit? Is it a cause? Is it a charity? Is it a little bit of both? I mean, are you acting or are you just being you delivering a message? What's up with it?
So it's a documentary.
Okay.
And I'm not sure about where the profit's going to go. I don't even know that they're going to sell it or if they're just going to throw it out there for everyone for free. I'm not sure. The business end of it, I'm not too savvy to. I would definitely be looking into finding out more about it. But I think it's more about just showing people that there's hope, showing people that there's, if you suffer from these things, whether they be physical, mental, or both, there's a way out, a good way out. Let's just listen to some rock music, maybe throw some weights around or watch some wrestling or whatever it is that you're into, that there's a hope. It's supposed to give people hope and motivation, I believe, to always keep swinging in that situation.
That's nice. And it was through a friend. Is it this? And it's not a Vinny Pacifico thing, but he's like going to be featured in this docu-series, which sort of has a similar message. I mean, I don't think it's about heavy metal music, but it is sort of a similar inspirational. You can do it kind of thing.
I'd actually just listened to that before we got on here a couple hours ago, and I didn't know that because we talk daily, but we don't always talk business. So just how you doing, how's life. and all that. So that's very cool that we're involved in a similar project. And now we got a match coming up. That'll be fun. So I'm going to beat his ass anyway, but it's cool that we're kind of interested in the same stuff.
Where are you wrestling him?
Loser has to watch the other guy's documentary.
Yes. Oh my God. I'm going to book it. It's at Magic. It's at Magic this coming Saturday, April the 12th.
Hell yeah.
Oh, so well, you get to book yourself to win then.
I put him over last time. We'll see.
He is very Pacific.
I know what that means, brother.
I'm just saying, I met him like 3 or 4 years ago, and ever since then, his career has gone straight up. Coincidence?
He's been doing great, man. Like,
yeah, I think not.
He's really been doing well for himself, and he's always asking me like, what else can I do? What am I doing wrong? I'm like, bro, I don't know. You're making it farther than me right now, which, but just from the outside looking in, he's doing great. He's doing everything he can and then some.
I know he's doing wrong. Everybody likes him. Something's wrong if everybody likes him.
Get some heat. Get some fucking
heat.
Yeah,
well, that.
Yeah, I mean, somebody's got to
get yourself canceled and make a comeback. No, just kidding. The real redemption story. That's Ultimate Pro Wrestling, though.
Yeah, I mean, too much of I love my wife, I love my mother. Okay, we get it. Okay, good night, John Boy. We know, we got it. So pure. He's so pure. He's like that the Who song, the note. Once there was a note, pure and simple, or pure and easy.
Steve, we got a
run. What's up?
We got a run in question here that I'm doing week to week.
Okay.
Doesn't fail. What's your favorite gaming console, and why is it PlayStation 2?
I'll be honest, it's a tie between PlayStation 2 and Nintendo 64 because of the game.
The running gag, Jeff. Everyone has the same answer. This political PR train fucking N64 answer. You guys are all paid for by big Nintendo. Go ahead, I'm listening. Tie between
just the catalog of games that both of them had is pretty much it. Like, and the gameplay being simple, you could pick up and go. You don't have to learn any tutorial on how to play your damn game. Not that I'm against doing that, but like,
no, I think that's literally one of the reasons I mentioned last week with Ben Bishop. Go back and watch that if it's the first time listening to the cast here. And he kind of said the same thing. N64 was his, and one of my reasons was, the reasons all of our memories go back to it because we were all playing with somebody else. Like memories that I have of playing like solo GoldenEye. Like everything was, you could pick up, your boy could come, your uncle could come by, your old man could grab the controller, and you could control the go-kart on Mario Kart, and you could wrestle on NWO Revenge. Like,
yep.
It was direction, jump, punch.
Yeah. It was very arcade-esque, and you just.
The new controllers, they're insane. It's too much work to do it, and it can't be good for your joints. I mean, like, just all the people I know who had carpal tunnel syndrome, those video games must give you carpal tunnel syndrome in like 5.5 months.
Some of those dudes have to have it. Those all-nighters, those kids, like, you've been gaming since you were 8, and like you're like, I can't imagine what your hand feels like at 28. You're a 100-year-old woman. That's like, it has to be, because those dudes are putting in hours. Like, it's one thing to play casually. Like, you can catch me 2, 3, 4 hours a week, but like 4 hours a day, day in and day out, like at minimum, like, come on.
You see them all, and they have the boyish face of Vinny Pacifico, and then they lift their hands, and it's like old crone, like witch hand, swollen knuckles and joints, and you haven't clipped their fingernails in weeks. They're all like shined down to like talons, or not shined down, sharpened to all of that. All right, Liz, how often does your promotion run shows? Is you once a month, once every 2 months, once a week?
So usually it's once a month. In May we have 3 at minimum. I'm working on the 4th, so that's going to be fun. Yeah, usually once a month.
Are you? Is it all Jersey?
For now.
You guys working at the same building, or you guys bouncing around?
For May we're going to bounce around a little bit.
Okay, you guys been doing same building month to month?
Mostly, yeah.
Okay,
except
I feel like that works
August
best for small indie wrestling. Like, I feel like consistency is key. You don't have to you don't have to follow the next thing, and especially if you get that familiarity with everybody, and if you can bang out every week that like the 3rd Saturday of the month or the 2nd, like, because I know there's some company down here, I don't know anything about it, but I know they run the 2nd Saturday of every month because it's on a flyer at the Armory down the street. Like, so I know if I'm free the 2nd Saturday and I want to go watch some wrestling, you pop on in. But yeah, that works out, and it's good that you guys get to bounce around and have the students set that ring up on location, show them what it's all about.
Yep.
Thomas, if you go into that armory, is it like, are you like a celebrity? Everyone wants to high five you and everything, and everyone thinks that you're working.
No, I stay away from that as much as possible. But,
so you can.
I
still
did
be
work a couple shindies down here before, and it is exactly like that. Like, and it was like my early MLW days, and people were like, "Oh, brother's coming down from TV." Like, bro, it's not that. It's not even. It's just like this, but we have one more camera.
Yeah, you and April Hunter can go. You have brunch at the Broken Egg or whatever, and then you go over to the thing. You and
I
April
showed up
Hunter,
at an indie show down here with her. I don't know what the fuck would happen. We would have to do an impromptu fucking mixed tag match on the fly.
Well, that's sort of the point, is to not know what the fuck is going to happen, and to see how it goes. All right. So I had a point. Are you doing shows many a week, or do you just like forget it?
No, I thought about it and I tried to make it happen, but me and Chase James from Relentless Pro out in somewhere on the West Coast. I don't know where he runs out. I haven't been out there. I think it's Washington State, California, and Nevada. He runs. We were gonna find a venue, run a joint show, but everywhere we looked was like, no, we're sold out, or no, we're not doing that, or oh, it's like $3,000 just to rent the building. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that.
What are you guys
next year?
Maybe both of you think about the prices of like the WrestleMania tickets and all of the events there. Yeah, I don't want to bias anyone.
Listen, it depends on what type of person you are, what your budget is, how you live your life. Steve has children, so he has other humans to apply for. So, I mean, his budget on bullshit may not be necessarily what my budget on bullshit is. I know outside of the wrestling world, I'm gladly to pay for an experience or something that I want to go to, but I will not be ripped off in any aspect of life. For example, I love shoes. I collect shoes. I have 80 pairs of shoes over there. I do not like, I probably have only paid over retail for a handful of those. It's like stuff that I really want. Like, I just, same thing when PS5s came out. Like, it doesn't make sense for me to get a PlayStation and sell it to somebody else. It doesn't sit right with me. But again, if you're willing, there's someone who's willing to pay. So for a Shane Gillis show, if you're going to drop $200 to go see Shane Gillis, like, I will do that. Like, that makes sense. The people who are spending thousands of dollars to go to WrestleMania, that is the same type of person who will go to the Super Bowl or go whatever their big one time a year is. And I've come across something recently where it's like, you're getting grown ass men, because that's who's buying these things. And I don't want to say people are neither here or there. The example I've heard is the best one. So I'm not saying it's just some loser nerd that has nothing else to waste his money on. There's grown ass men who have a family, and the kids go to Disney once or twice a year. And this is his thing that he does either on his own or with his boys, that people save all year for this. The rates are the rates, but I mean, we all know everything in life is going up. So,
well, two questions. One, is something you spent over retail? Are they your Roman Reigns tribal chief Jordans? If you're Nike,
no, they are not.
Okay.
They are not. I assure you, they are not.
Okay, so like I'm not a sneakerhead at all, but if I was to pay, I would get those, but they'd probably never come out of the box, because I now understand that these things are actually collectibles.
Yes.
I used to be a shoe horse, but it was actually for dress shoes. Like, it'd be Alan Edmonds and Bruno Mali and Prada and stuff like. Now it's like whatever. Now I don't even wear socks. I mean,
market is the market, man. The people at all the shows seem to be sold out. So keep jacking the prices up. I mean,
well, that's a thing.
This is America. I'm here to make money. I'm pro profit.
That's sort of where I was going to go with this. Like, I can almost. Listen, I'm concerned about the prices that the WWE is pricing things at. It's like, things are oftentimes a bubble, and sometimes you can speed up a bubble, but it's not clear they're going to sell out. They probably will at the end. They'll scratch out, get close enough, but they're charging so much money. They're gonna break all records. So that'll be the argument. You didn't sell out, yeah, but we made $17 million more than we made last year. But
the other thing comes down to, like, I don't know what the scalper situation is. So I saw something with the autograph sessions. There were like the normal price was already fucking outlandish, like $800-900 for a photo. And then I guess the scalpers got a hold of a Rhea Ripley one, and they were up to like $1,300 or $8,300, some astonishing number. So there's a lot of that involved too. And I don't want to go I don't want to go into the depths of fucking being political, but our current president just signed executive order that's trying to attack on the exact thing that we're talking about now, the inflation of pricing and the oversell and the resell from scalpers. We'll see if any of that actually comes into fruition and pans out legally over the course of like all this shit. But I think that's a combination of like, yes, prices are high, but we're still getting fucked on fees, and we're still getting fucked by the resellers, and we're still getting fucked by scalpers. And that just makes everything else just look worse. When in reality, I miss the days where I could just spend $20 on a ticket and just show up somewhere and stand.
Oh, well, this Wednesday you can, right here in Baltimore, if you want to go to AEW Dynamite, but you can get a ticket for $20. You can probably get two for $20.
Damn.
Yeah. But
that pricing is wild, but
we'll talk about the downstreaming though. And because, normally there's like tons and tons of indie shows and smaller promotions, and, they do joint shows and whatever, but the rent of everything is so high. Like, do you think as a promoter, this is more for you, Steve, but also Thomas, just from your experience of being around stuff, do you think that people will overextend themselves thinking they're going to make money, that people will spend money on the indie shows as well at those rates because it's been set so high that they're going to make money? Or do you think that people are going to lose their shirts, that it's really a one brand circus in Las Vegas for that time?
I mean, I think it's kind of a crapshoot, and it kind of depends what kind of card you have and what kind of reach you have. Like GCW is going to do fine. Not as good as WWE by any means, but they're going to do fine. TNA is going to do fine. As far as like the indies, I think if they
Bloodsport's got like 7 wrestlers at Bloodsport, so they're like if they're not in overt partnership, they're at least in some sort of not exactly secret partnership.
Yeah, I think anything at that what they call the collective with GCW and Bloodsport and all that, that's all going to do good. And so is TNA. But yeah, like everything else, maybe if the pricing is low and someone's bored on an off night and they got a little extra money on their vacation, they'll go check out your show. And we're talking about competing for 70, 80,000 people. If you pack a venue with 200 or 300, you're going to be doing well, depending on what your pricing scale is like. As far as losing your shirt, yeah, that's a very real possibility. That's one of the reasons we decided not to do it, because like just the overhead for the venue without a ring was so much. Like, I get it. I understand. If you can get the money. But yeah, no, a lot of us don't have it to spend. I'd rather just rent out my venue for what I rent it for and know that I'm going to draw at least my money back, if not profit. But yeah, the Mania Week thing is, I've wanted to do it forever. It's kind of bucket list for me. And one day I will, even if I lose my ass. But I'm at least going to do it at a time where maybe I'll be able to break even.
I think a lot of people who haven't been to Las Vegas, they actually think everything is tight and contained in one area.
No.
And it's not. Everything is deceivingly far away from each other. I mean, they've got the train, which is swell, but there's also the old strip and the new strip, and then there's venues all sort of ancillary around the town. And I think it's going to prove to be a lot harder to get around than people people think, because most of the public transportation, the Ubers, they're going to stay on the main strip, and the ones that aren't, they're going to be like on the Fremont, the Golden Nugget, the old strip. And if you're going out to like Sam's Club or the Brazilian, or is it Brazilian? No, Rio, I think it is, and some of those others, that are out there sort of alone in the desert. It might be rough to find people to go that far.
I do think Vegas is more capable of holding a big type of event, because they do big shit I don't want to say big shit every weekend, but they do have the football team is obviously there regularly now, consistently, and they do big time UFC events, and there's no one's going to be coming in from out of town for anything other than wrestling. So to go back on the original question, the original point, it's crazy that WWE used to want to box out all the smaller indies from WrestleMania weekend, where they would try to gridlock that. And now I think it's become more of the super indies, the big time indies, who ironically work closely with WWE, get all the elites, not just the elite stage, but the elite stars, the Barrows from WWE. And then basically those top companies, everybody in that collective, if you're outside of that collective, like other than who, maybe MLW, maybe somebody you have to bring in like a New Japan style show to get, thousands and thousands of people, but you need to have top name billing who's not contractually obligated to be somewhere else at the same exact time. It can't be worth it from from a wrestling perspective and a small business perspective to even run a show at 1 o'clock and you can't even have an entire building to yourself. You have to like split and lease 5 ways with people because the cities have become so smart and privy to the WrestleMania weekend. It's such a big deal now that they know on those weekends to jack it up. The only way to counter this is to find out which cities are in the final contention and know the building that you want to book 3 years in advance. And so before the announcement goes live, you call and say, hey, what's the price on this fucking building, 2 years from now, and fucking, whatever stupid town just got a new fucking football arena, and then try to book it that way. But yeah, it really just doesn't make sense for anybody.
Jacksonville.
That'll be a funny weekend.
It would be extremely funny. Hey, Steve, is your ring better than that hinky one that AEW had in Australia at Grand Slam?
Oh God, yeah, much better. Much
Thomas
better.
loves when I talk about that ring.
I bought it lightly used, and we've had it about a year. So
full size, or you got a pony?
No, we got a full size one.
Woo, baby. Big time.
Yeah, man. We try.
Who's your top girl? Who's your top lady?
Right now it's Vicky Venuto, formerly Vicious Vicky.
Black girl, the black girl with the 2 different color hair.
What?
Who's the black chick that we were going to have on the pod with 2 different color hair, Jeff?
That was Tiffany Avatar.
Tiff, she works for you too, right?
She works for us as well. Yeah.
There you go. Look at that.
Vicious Vicky was just on John Kiernan's Ropes and Riffs or Riffs and Ropes show, and John Kiernan's he's a friend. He's actually going to do the music, I think, for Booking for Love, which is our spin-off series where we get Shaza hitched. So
that's just wild, bro.
Off drop on the plug right there.
Hey, listen, this thing's going to happen if it kills me, which isn't the worst outcome either. So it's like die at the top, die at Everest. Like Darby will be climbing our Everest, I'll be getting the show over, and then we'll both fall. But that's it. Yeah, so Tiffany Avatar works for you. So she's
she's one of the few people in wrestling I consider a friend. She's very cool. I definitely recommend having her on, and Vinny recommended me, so that's kind of
well, that's how wrestling works, brother.
That's how wrestling works. Yeah.
I asked Tiffany like 2 months ago, and she said yes, and then I haven't been able to hear from her since. So I sort of moved on, but I'll circle back at some point. But I was going to ask Vicious Vicky, which is just because of all the synergies.
I'll see them both Saturday. I'll mention it to both of them.
Hey, cool, thank you. So we love referrals. And I'm not sure that people quite get the concept that we only talk about wrestling if they want to talk about wrestling. Otherwise, we're like be far more happy to talk about Star Wars and horror movies and gambling.
There's a million wrestling podcasts out there, bro. This makes yours different.
Yeah, exactly. It is.
I hate talking about wrestling.
Yeah, I'm just assuming that you're all interesting people, and then the wrestling's the icebreaker or the crutch. But beyond that, it's not important. Do you But there's a wrestler from the Eastern Shore of Maryland, Kaya McKenna. She's like
yeah, I know Kaya.
I mean, I would think that she did it, because if you actually live in the Eastern Shore, there's not that many easy options for you. I mean, really, nothing's easy. But New Jersey is doable. New Jersey is a day drive. You can.
Yeah, we've had her on a few shows too. She's pretty cool. We exchange Star Wars reels. It's my buddy right there for Star Wars reels and memes. But no, she's cool. It's just, I know it's a far ride for her. She books up quick, so we don't get to have her on shows as often as I'd like to. But that's a good problem for her to have, to be booking up that quick.
Someone else just moved to Virginia. Oh God, it's like, I think Ivy Malibu. I think she's just moved.
I don't know her.
Okay. Well, you may want to be.
I've heard the name, but I just don't know.
Yeah, well, it's like I'm like too following sort of all of the, because of when I met Shaza and I saw how many followers she had, and just how many more followers she had than other women that I sort of she runs in the same circles with. Now I'm very cognizant of so that the ladies who have 7 to 24,000 followers, I sort of lump them in the same category, which is really a very unscientific way to do things, but it's whatever. It's good enough for government work. And so, but geographically, that probably would work for you because I imagine that people are still road warriors. You do a little
Yeah,
driving.
you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised.
Well, I know you're not a road warrior. I know you're taking planes.
Damn right, brother. I'm 6'5".
You're a fancy
250 pounds. I'm what a professional wrestler looks like in the airport, and you will only see me in the airport.
Exactly right. Yeah, listen, I saw you going toe to toe with my boy Hammerstone.
Your boy Hammer, my boy Hammer. I'm happy to see him back. I love to see someone fucking jacked.
Woo! He's gotten so thick, my goodness. Funny thing is that Fightful put out a report. We can confirm that Hammerstone has not signed a contract, which I don't know if he has or hasn't, but there was clearly a post indicating he's there for more than just that one show. So I'm always happy when Fightful's wrong because I don't really much like Fightful. And they don't really much like me either. So it's mutual. All right, Steve, let's go back to you. So
all right.
I'm looking behind you. You got the crucifix. You have a bunch of things that it looks like your kids are you in your kids?
Yep.
You're in the kitchen. So you have to do the podcast in your child's room, huh?
No, he puts it all up in my room.
Okay. So that's okay.
And his too, but I've got art everywhere. In the living room too. It's all over the place. He's a pretty good artist though, so I don't mind it. But yeah, no, it's everywhere.
That's great. You have a whole collection. No, I think that's sweet. You don't need to go to Pier 1 or any place to buy artwork. You just
make it at home.
Yeah, you just plaster the house with love. That's all. That's
listen. We need more. Go make more.
Oh, it's like that. It's a sweatshop.
No.
Go make some more. I told you a stegosaurus. That's not a stegosaurus. That's a triceratops.
Snobby art dad. Yeah, that's me.
You ever see any of those ancient alien shows where they have like petroglyphs or like carvings in the stone, and like one of them looks like a dinosaur, and so they're like proof that dinosaurs and men live together.
Yep.
It's like you ever
fun
think
times.
It's like how you could do something like that now, and in 10,000 years, like somebody digs it up and thinks that somehow that's like proof that like talking like octopuses or something like lived amongst us.
I've never thought of that, but that's an awesome thought, and I hope someday that does happen.
Yeah,
I really do.
I would like to do it. I want to tell you someone that's very disappointing to me on the whole octopus thing, and that's Jonathan Gresham, because his whole gimmick has been that he's the octopus, and I know it's because he's like the technical wrestler and all of that. I once said to him,
whole gimmick is that he's a technical wrestler because he's short and wish he was tall, and he has a shitty attitude, not made for wrestling, which is why he doesn't have a fucking job. Quote that, clip that, put it on the fucking Twitter at me, and tag your boy because he sucks. So
okay. All right. Listen,
that'll be the last time he comes up. I do like octopus though. I prefer mine grilled. It comes out very nice. For some reason, it's my favorite thing about Mexico. Steve, my last question before we get you out of here is I'll try to pull this together. Now that I've gone off the deep end burying people. We'll give Jeff what he wants here because he likes things of the dark side. I know you're a little more towards the New York side of the New York side of New Jersey, but
yep.
What is the lore and the legend of the New Jersey Devil on your end of New Jersey?
Man, we just kind of hear whispers of it. We don't have a whole lot of, from where I come from and the people I hang out with, like we don't talk about it a lot. Like you hear it every now and then. There's a place called Devil's Tower, a couple of towns over from me, that apparently if you drive around it backwards, you're supposed to see the devil in the tower. I've never tried that because what if it works? I don't
no, thank you. Yeah.
No, I'm good.
Are you afraid?
Yeah.
Uneasy is the word I'd like to use.
You said you have a 7-footer. Bring the 7-footer and a couple of the other meatheads in there and have them flank you.
And
if one of them was driving, then I just jump out the car if I got it and run.
Right. You're not going to be the slowest one if they're like 7 feet or 320 pounds. They're going to be.
I love the way you think.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, listen, we've watched a lot of scary movies. We know what to do and what not to do.
Yeah, you don't got to be the fastest. Just don't be the slowest, and you're good.
That's right. And
or
also
just mind your business, and you won't be in this movie at all.
Usually, yeah.
Okay. Well, Barbarian. Okay, the movie Barbarian. The woman goes into the basement and like she finds like there's a secret tunnel and she looks in it and like in every horror movie someone goes in there and she looks in and she just goes nope. I'm just like I'm like just from that alone I know I'm gonna like this movie better than like 9 out of every other 10 horror movies I've ever seen.
Clever girl.
Yeah, that's just,
what movie? That Barbarian? Where's that streaming on? I got to check that out.
Oh shit, I don't know, but it's
I'll check. I'll Google it.
It's about a 4-year-old movie, so you should be able to find it for free at this point. But it's good. It's got Bill Skarsgård, the one who was Pennywise and in The Crow.
He's good. He's good.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't see The Crow. I'm not going to, but I'll check out this movie.
It's supposed to be terrible, but he's in a lot of stuff. I mean, he's not as beautiful as his older brother. Alexander Skarsgård. I mean, the total vibe.
Hell of a name. Skarsgård.
I know, right? I think that is Stellan Skarsgård their father, or is it like the guy that was it? He's in Andor. He's like the antiquities dealer who's the spy. He was the scientist in the Thor movies. I'm not sure if I'm not really good with Scandinavian names. I'm sure. Anyway, but
we're in the club.
What are you looking up? I forgot already what you're researching there, Tomas.
Nothing. I'm good at this point. I'm all fired up now after you mentioned the octopus and we were talking about food. So I've gone red and I think I just zoned out for a second. So if I had a blank look on my face, I apologize.
Yeah, you did. Well, this is audio, so it doesn't matter. But you did so very. But okay, so where he lost me is that if you're going to wear an octopus thing on your head and that's going to be your gimmick, and somebody makes a Cthulhu reference to you, you should know what Cthulhu was. And he totally had no idea what Cthulhu was.
As you should. As you should.
So, I mean, mine is a little bit more trivial than apparently the other burial. I mean, but he's married to Jordan Grace. She's doing pretty cool these days.
At least someone's making a living.
Yeah, she's doing pretty cool.
Wow. She was our women's champion for a while, Jordan.
Good.
Before everything. But
do they live in the Baltimore area? I thought that they might have.
They did when she was working for us because we didn't have to fly her in, but at some point they moved, and that's kind of why we stopped using her. I didn't have a flight budget at the time. Yeah, so I think they moved to Georgia. I don't know if they're still there, and now she's in NXT. They're probably in Florida. I don't know.
I think you're right. I think it's Georgia because I think they were here because he was big in Ring of Honor, and Ring of Honor was here.
Right.
But I think you're right because him during COVID, him and I can't remember but they started a promotion called Terminus. It didn't last very long, but him and Brandon something, I don't know, I can't remember. But anyway, Brandon Brown, I think the guy's last name was Brown. And I only remember it because EC3 was doing CYN around the same time. There were a lot of people that were trying to do their own thing. There were a whole lot of releases from WWE. AEW wasn't hiring a lot of people there because it was COVID. Nobody was. So everyone
was a terrible time.
Yeah, trying to do their own thing. And so yeah, that was out of Georgia. So you're probably right. They probably did move there and maybe still are. All right. So enough about that. All right, I don't feel like we need to bury anyone else any longer. I really wasn't intending to bury Gresham, though. I mean, you should learn the Cthulhu thing if you're wearing an octopus mask. I mean, there's some octopus lore. I mean, it's people are going to come up to you and you shouldn't have a blank face about it. Or you say, oh, no, I'm not about the Cthulhu. I'm just about the graps. It's like I have 8 legs, instead of 4. See, what is it that we should have asked you that we didn't, or what is it that in our meanderings we didn't give you a chance to talk about that you need or want to talk about?
I mean, I think we pretty much hit on everything that we had talked about in the DM. Although I would love everyone to go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. Me and my son have a channel called It's an Off-World, where we're more active in the summer, so we're not putting out a whole lot of content right now, but we go on day trips, we do food reviews, we do reviews of different theme parks. Just pretty much anywhere we go that, this could be interesting, we start filming, we have a fun time, and we get some views. We're not doing anything crazy yet, but we're trying to eventually monetize that. So if everyone can go subscribe, I'd appreciate it. And definitely check out Pro Wrestling Magic on YouTube as well. We're close to monetizing that. So finally.
Push it. Let's get these people making some money.
Hell yeah, man.
And it's at Pro Wrestling Magic everywhere.
Yes, sir. Yep.
I'm gonna go give you a follow on YouTube so you guys can make some money. Because the one place where I won't unfollow people is YouTube because barely know how to get there in the first place. Some magic. Everyone follow.
You don't know how to
Jeff,
go to
anything
YouTube.
you didn't go over today?
You don't know how to go to YouTube. How do you?
Well, I do know how to go to
MLW?
YouTube. I don't like. I'm not big on the unfollowing people on YouTube like I would be on, any other.
No, you don't have to unfollow. Yeah, you can just.
I know how to get there. I also don't follow things religiously because I don't like my shit getting clogged up my feed. I like to just get right to my SmackDown highlights immediately.
YouTube gives you the option of turning off your notifications. So it's.
Well, yes, I don't have notifications on anything because I'm a shady individual.
No, I do too. I have that kind of OCD. Like my wife has like 1,400 messages on like every app saying
I
it
can't
doesn't bother her in the least. Me, that would put me in a hospital for weeks.
I couldn't do it. Couldn't do it.
Meanwhile, for those of you who follow TikTok, she's at Pandora694 under Valentina. So follow her. She's like getting perilously close to 10,000, where apparently you can monetize shit on that. And it seems to be very important to her. I think as her knee heals, I think she wants to make enough money from it that she tells me she doesn't have to get a job. By the way, if she just told me she didn't want to get a job, that'd be fine. But she always tells me that she does. But I want her to work for an immigration law firm because she's great with computers and she knows immigration law. And there's one like down the street. But
it's convenience right there.
It's right there. Convenience is king. But that's enough about me. So yeah, you can follow her. But if you want to follow me, you can, for wrestling nonsense, you can follow me on the X at @dose_evil, or for everything else, which also has some wrestling nonsense, at Icarus Fell MD. Or you can just subscribe to the show, Garden of Thought, and you get basically 3 shows a week, almost every week, including this one where where it's Gospel of Thomas more often than not, and we talk to wrestlers about whatever we want to talk about. And then, Garden of Thought Weekend Edition is sort of a little bit more, History Channel After Dark. And the midweek show is more like, magazine show podcast, more topical and maybe real world usefulness. But it really depends on what you think is real world usefulness. So, it's an encyclopedia for the world. Steve, where can people follow you? I know you're on the X.
I am on the X, the Twitter, whatever you want to call it. I'm also on Instagram, the same handle. I hate Steve Off, because when I went to make an Instagram as Steve Off, there was already one, and I hate him, not myself. I hate that guy.
Always.
That stole my name. That son of a gun. And I'm Steve Off on Facebook as well. It's an Off World and Pro Wrestling Magic on YouTube. Pro Wrestling Magic on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Follow us everywhere. Follow me everywhere. Not literally, please. I don't need that in my life, but on the socials. Appreciate it. You got
another 20 years in you?
God, I hope so, brother, but probably not.
In the grounds.
That makes one of them.
If I keep shit posting every day with memes and reels and stuff, maybe mentally I will be in such a good place from all the laughter I get from that I will be able to go another 20 years. But I'm thinking like 10 or 15. It's like my max.
You may need to take some lessons from the guy we discovered and had absolutely nothing going on until we met him, Big Trouble Ben Bishop. I mean, he was unbookable until we met him, and now look at him. He's an overnight success.
All over the place. Yeah. He's funny as hell too, man.
He wasn't before. Now he is. I'm kidding. He did it all on his own. It was just good timing. All right, Thomas. Have I rambled enough, or is there some sort of goodbye line, or are we just done?
No, that's it. We're going to wrap it up. Follow me at Mocha Traps. Catch me on MLW. Get your tickets for Lucha Azteca on May 10th in Chicago, Illinois. Check out the Battle Riot replay. There's some good highlights of Mr. Thomas in there. That's on the YouTube machine. But make sure everyone goes and follows Steve Off and follow Pro Wrestling Magic. They're so close to monetization. Pro Wrestling needs to make more money. So we have real jobs. So that's about it. Over and out.
All right, everyone. Steve Off, thank you. Mr. Thomas, thank you as always. And I'll thank
you guys.